There is a name, hidden from the Bible you read every Sunday, whispered in ancient Jewish texts, written in the Talmud, and then deliberately erased. That name is Metatron, and the reason it was removed tells us something Islam has been warning about for over 1,400 years.
Open the Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Sanhedrin, page 38b. The name is right there, written in ancient Hebrew, attributed to a being the rabbis described as second only to the Eternal.
Open the Targum. The Aramaic translations read in synagogues before the time of Jesus. The name appears again, identifying the angel of the Lord, the one who spoke to Abraham, who appeared to Moses in the burning bush, who guided Israel through the wilderness. So why does the Bible today hide this name on purpose? Because in the year 90 of the Common Era, Jewish scholars gathered after Jerusalem was destroyed, after the temple had fallen to Roman swords, and they made a calculated decision. A new religion was spreading. Early Christianity was using these very texts about this elevated heavenly figure, to argue for the divinity of Jesus. So the scholars acted. They excluded the book of Enoch. They pushed the mystical texts into hidden circles. They added marginal notes to guide readers away from asking dangerous questions. Generation after generation, manuscript after manuscript, until the name simply vanished. This is what Islam calls Tahrif, the corruption of previous scriptures. Allah warned us in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 79, "Woe to those who write scripture with their own hands, then say, 'This is from Allah.'" This, right here, is one of the most documented examples of that very process. Human hands, human agendas, editing divine tradition. Now, the question that matters most: does Metatron exist in Islam? The honest answer is no.
The name Metatron appears nowhere in the Quran, nowhere in authentic Hadith, nowhere in established Islamic theology.
And Islam doesn't need it to, because Islam goes directly to divine revelation, not to mystical books that human hands already corrupted. But there is a connection worth examining. The Jewish tradition links Metatron to Enoch, a man taken alive from the earth. Islam also speaks of this prophet. Allah mentions him in the Quran, Surah Maryam, verses 56 and 57, "And we raised him to a high station." Prophet Idris, peace be upon him, was raised alive to the heavens. Classical scholars like Ibn Kathir recorded this, and some early narrations from Jewish and Christian traditions documented by Muslims do connect Idris to the figure later called Metatron. But here is where Islamic scholarship draws the line. The Talmud describes Metatron receiving 60 lashes of fire as punishment for a mistake made in front of the heavenly court. In Islam, this is impossible. Allah tells us in Surah Al-Tahrim, verse 6, "The angels do not disobey Allah in what He commands them." Angels in Islam do not err. They do not get disciplined. They do not receive lashes. Any tradition that describes this has already been touched by human hands. And the title Lesser Yahweh, a second divine power seated beside God,
Islam rejects this completely.
say He is Allah, the One, Allah, the eternal refuge. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to Him any equivalent. One, there is no second power. There is no lesser God. There is no quasi-divine scribe holding the book of life. These are the distortions of a tradition that lost its way and then tried to bury the evidence. So what is Metatron when seen through Islamic eyes? He is a figure built partly on the genuine story of Prophet Idris, whom Allah did raise to a high station, and partly on the theological anxieties of a tradition already altered by human hands. The rabbis who erased his name were trying to protect monotheism, and in doing so, they confirmed exactly what Islam has always taught, that previous scriptures were subject to human fear, human politics, human editing. The Quran came to restore what was corrupted, to clarify what was confused, to establish the truth that no hidden name, no mystical figure, and no buried tradition can replace. Allah is one. His angels obey Him perfectly, without error, without punishment, and the unseen world is exactly as He described it, no more, no less. That is the Islamic answer to Metatron. Allahu Akbar.